From downtown Scranton, this is Northeast Current. WQPX invites you to join us as we explore public affairs, current events, and arts and culture in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Now, let's meet today's guests on Northeast Current.
Hello, I'm Kathy Ristrouch, your guest host today for Northeast Current, and I'm here with Father Mark Rossetti of the Rossetti Estate and Trust for the Arts, and we're in this elaborate place, and we're here to talk about all the various things happening in this venue and how we got started. Father Mark Rossetti has done so much already, and I thought it was a great idea to show off your place. Now,
thank you.
From what I gather, it started around 15 years ago when you moved in, and tell me about that.
Well, key to this structure is a very large main hall with a foyer, and it's perfect for salon musical events. In the United States, salon performances were very common around the turn of the last century. Mm-hmm. And certainly in Europe. Artists would go to the homes of those who had large rooms such as this and perform with the hopes that someone would become a patron, a patron. Mm-hmm. And people would support the arts in that way. Today, people are not familiar with salon performances because we have very large theaters. We have facilities that in some way accommodate themselves to different styles of performances. So the small, intimate performances are not so common. In places like New York, Los Angeles, Boston, they still take place. But we wanted to do something here in Scranton to support the musicians, the artists, many of those who perform wonderful literary works, poetry, readings. We've had opera singers here from New York numerous times.
I've enjoyed them. Mm-hmm.
And what we do through the Trust is that the performers are welcome to come in to what they would consider a venue, perform. We give to them the use of the venue, food, and beverages afterwards. Again, no cost to them. And whatever they bring in at the door goes to them or to a particular,
nonprofit organization,
yes,
such as the one I know we'll discuss later. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So we do this to promote a sense not only of personal recognition of the artist, but the growing number of artists in our area who need in some way to be shown to the people of this great valley, this city, that they have something to offer.
And I have to say, other than just going to the theater to see them, what I liked about this setting the first time I came in is, first of all, we see this fabulous place, which we still want to talk about that. And then, when I came in the first time, it was with the opera singers. And I sat there, and you're right there with them. They're walking through the room, and you don't get that when you go to Lincoln Center. No. They're so far away, you're using binoculars. But they come in, and they're right here performing, and then you get to talk to them afterwards. and it's such a nice, relaxed atmosphere,
Yes.
and you have a fabulous staff.
They're great.
Fabulous staff, and the food is excellent, I must say. You do a
Thank
great
you.
job with
Thank
that.
you.
But I really enjoy that.
Thank you.
So it's
Thank
just
you.
so impressive. And if anyone comes here, like when you first walk in, you know, even at night, it has a different atmosphere with the lighting.
Yes.
You know, like I do theater, and we all work on sets and lighting, and you could see it when it's just, you know, during the day. But when you have the nighttime and the lights with it, with the chandeliers, it just adds to that atmosphere. It
Well,
really does.
It's all about the art. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, people think, well, is this some sort of religious effort? This has nothing to do with religion.
You just happen to be
Yeah,
Father
right.
Mark Rossetti.
It has nothing to do with religion.
Now tell us about your mother. Didn't you say she has something to do
Oh.
with getting this started?
She loved music, and she loved the arts. She loved antiques. And she got that love from my grandfather, who came from Greece right before the First World War. And he was a great collector. And my mother was intrigued by beauty.
I could see that,
And
seeing it here.
you're schooled in what is good and what may not be so good. And in a society that has gone from distinctive positions, for instance, from America being a republic to a democracy, and now to a capitalist society. There's a lessening of what is good and what is not so good. The 1% takes unto themselves, basically, that which is the best. And for students who go to public school, there's no effort to teach them about art.
Well, on that regard, I am going to say that my daughters, you know, they do attend a public school, and I am very pleased that in our public school, art is a big thing.
Oh,
And
very
they got
good.
the music. Fabulous. In fact, my daughter Cecilia, who we will be discussing, plays all these beautiful instruments, and it's because the public school has that ability. So some public schools are losing the arts, but a lot of them still maintain it. That's another subject there with
Yes.
our budgets and everything.
Yes, yes.
But they do help promote it. So I just have to say that.
Well, and that's fine. I'm glad they do that in the school where your children attend. But for the most part, across this country, it is not emphasized.
Yeah.
And most particularly, an appreciation for culture, a culture of art. Either it be traditional art or modern art or different forms of music, classical music, jazz, which truly is one of the original art forms in the U.S.
Yeah.
Culinary arts. Sculpting. There are so many things. And what it does is it allows the soul to express itself in a way it could not do in particular forms. For instance, to take a piece of clay and look at that piece of clay and say, I'm going to make something out of that piece of clay.
And in talking about that, I noticed that we have a lot of beautiful artifacts around here
Yes.
that are sculpted.
Yes.
And hopefully you're going to see some of these
Yes.
on the venue here, because there's so many things. Because you have the harpsichord, you have
Yes.
all these nice pieces that hopefully we're showing it while we're talking. you'll be
Okay.
able to see that. But the best thing to do is be able to come to the Rossetti Estate and Trust for the Arts and see these things for yourself, because a picture is not enough. And we're going to talk more after we have a short break
Okay.
and find out more about what's happening next and about how this venue got started.
Okay.
Be back after this. Hello, and once again, I'm Kathy Ristrouch here with Father Mark Rossetti at the beautiful Rossetti Estate and Trust for the Arts. And right now, we're in this beautiful dining room.
Yes.
Like before, we were in one of the living rooms, and now we're in the beautiful dining room. And we were talking about how it got started with your mother, and
Yes.
when you first moved in. Like, when you look at this place, and it's so elaborate, it wasn't always like this, was it, Father?
No. Some of the walls had major damage. And of course, what we could save or salvage as far as moldings, we did, and had them recast it. What I tried to do, and certainly what my mother wanted to do, was to create an atmosphere in which the arts could be enlivened. The ability to use, for instance, furniture.
Quite elaborate.
Furniture is art.
Definitely here.
The carving of wood, inlays, marbles,
The chair you're in. Look
yes,
at this.
fabrics.
Beautiful.
And at one period, it was a favored thing that, wow, this person has this type of chair or this type of table. Now, of course, today we have IKEA.
Not very much like art.
No.
No.
And it is reflective, again, of a culture. Everyone's always saying, I want to be an individual. But yet, they all dress the same. They all buy the same furniture. They all go to the same chain restaurants. The personality is basically eradicated because everyone's doing everything the same. To be a musician, to be an artist, to be someone who can express themselves and bring out their individuality. This is what has to be nurtured. And that's what we try to do. This self-expression. No one's going to laugh at anybody. We want to raise the person up. You can do this. You have the talent to do this. We're going to help you do this. That's basically what we try to do. And people could recall that when they were younger, especially people my age, there were many people going to music lessons. Oh, I have to go to my piano lesson now. Or I have to go to my violin lesson now. But they were doing that. They had private lessons. The parents would pay for private lessons.
Yes, I'm one of those parents.
And there you go, okay.
We got the piano, but as I said before, in the public school, we have a concert band. So
Oh, that's
they
wonderful.
got free lessons that way.
Good.
We had to get the instrument, but,
Yes.
and I will say with eBay, it makes it a little bit easier
that's
finding them.
But you see, we don't have that emphasis so much anymore. And what is very interesting to me is that, notice how many people you come across and they say, I can't sing. I can't sing. And actually, they can't match a pitch because the level of noise that we're accustomed to, and the inability to recognize the clarity of pitch has been hindered by what we listen to. What we have is, I guess I would call it, the noise haze. You walk down the street, it's unbelievable what you hear. It's very loud. Mm-hmm. And so we chose to go into ourselves. So now we have earplugs here and things hanging from us, and we don't talk to anybody. We don't look at signs, walk right past people. So we became introverted as far as expression because we became aware of what was happening to us. So the arts have not flourished, and we have to make a very solid effort to push the arts. We have Superbowl Sunday, right? Mm-hmm. Did you ever hear of maybe a Symphony Sunday?
No.
No.
You won't have that. No.
And why not?
I think the common denominator of the masses, they want the easier things, and you have the upper group of masses that care for the arts. And somehow, some way, we hope to keep it going.
Yes.
And getting back to what you're doing here with your venue, you have a beautiful staff. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about your staff, who you have helping you on a regular basis.
Well, we have Peter Pond, who is our carpenter and house manager.
And he's adding a new kitchen.
Yes.
Father designed this new kitchen. Every time you come here, there's a change. So if you said, well, I was at the Rossetti estate before, no, you have to keep coming. Because they have a beautiful new kitchen that
Yes.
they worked on. The kitchen they had is now a nice sitting room. And so Peter's working on that. As we're talking here, they're in the kitchen doing some more work.
And his nephew is helping him. Mm-hmm. Plus we have several other people who are just workmen. Mm-hmm. And then for the parties, as you know, mm-hmm. we have servers, and they're all in tuxes and white gloves. Because, again, people respond to an approach that they're special. Mm-hmm. And we have to be the leaven in society. We have to raise the people. Mm-hmm. And make people feel good about themselves.
Right.
People in our area a lot of times don't feel good about themselves. Mm-hmm. And I do believe that anything that was created by God is good.
Right. Now, just to bring us back to the things that are happening here, Father Rossetti was very good for Actor Circle.
Yes.
I'm part of that group as well, and we performed at Christmas time. We did something for Valentine's Day. I also was a part of the Dolores's group La Voce.
La Voce, yes.
They did that beautiful weeping tree.
The weeping tree, it was
wonderful. I enjoyed being a part of that. That was very nice. Mostly opera.
Yes.
You've helped. Anthracite.
Opera.
Opera with Gary Richards.
Yes.
And
Wonderful.
Gary Richards, speaking of, is going to be helping on this venue that's coming up April the 10th on Sunday. This is where you're showing how you help out, because I came up with this idea, and Father Rossetti and Dr. Olivieri agreed to this idea. My daughter, who's at the University of Scranton, she is going to be going away for a whole year, volunteering her services with a group called the Jesuit Volunteer Corps, which has been around for 40 plus years. They get these students coming out of undergrad school and say, before you continue with your career or with more schooling, take a year and volunteer your services. And they also need you to raise some funds to do it. So Father agreed to this. Cecilia and her two other classmates, Marissa and Kaylin, will be here. And we're putting together a nice show, a musical celebration. I'm working as MC. This is Sunday, April 10 at 5 p.m.
Yes.
5 p.m. till 8. Father is going to supply the staff and food and
drink, yeah.
and drink. And we're putting together some nice entertainment. Heather Burdick, along with her daughter, who is a very special, gifted girl, Katrina. She will be singing. Gary's singing. I'm an MC, doing a little bit of something as well. And Ken McGraw, a fabulous pianist, is accompanying us. Kaylin's doing some poetry. Cecilia is going to be playing the piano as well, a special piece, and her clarinet. So we have these girls doing things. Marissa is singing. All right, along with Cecilia and her friends and a group of us that are performing, another major group, a barbershop quartet, Vocal Accord. And the members of Vocal Accord, Don, their names are on the poster. I know Dane Bauer. He's an old, an associate of mine that I know from where I live, and he's a part of that group. And there's a picture of them with all their names that I'm sure we're going to put up here, and you'll get to see that. But they're going to be performing as a special feature in this venue. So there's the barbershop quartet. You have university students. You have other members of the community singing, performing, playing instruments. So we're going to have a fabulous, fabulous time. And hopefully we could have people, if you're seeing this and you haven't been here yet, here's your chance to help a worthy cause. It's a small contribution. They're looking for about $25 to the Jesuit Volunteer Corps. Call the number that you're going to see on your screen. That's me. I'm the person you're actually contacting. So we know you're coming. So Father has enough food for everybody. He always has more food than we know what to do with. Every time we tell him we only need this much, he gets that much. So I'm sure even if last second you decided to show up, we'd be thrilled. And it's here at the Rossetti Estate and Trust for the Arts, right next to the University of Scranton campus, on the corner of Quincy and Vine, 1005 Vine Street in Scranton. And I so appreciate you giving us some time here, Father.
You're welcome. I appreciate your love of the arts.
And I do love the arts, and anything to keep it going. And thank you for all that you and your staff are doing for us. And we hope to see you here shortly. And thank you again, Father.
Thank you.
And again, I'm Kathy Rist-Strouch for Northeast Current, and we'll see you again sometime.